Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the America Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just an open chat. If you've got any questions for me, send them in. If you've got something you want me to answer, a question, whatever, a topic you want me to address, let me know. And there's different ways you can let me know. You can let me know in the live chat. You can let me know via super chat through PayPal with the link up there above, the Phil Tithe link. Or you can send me an email to shootingleftcenter@gmail.com. And if you've got a question for me, I will do my best to answer it. If you ask me a technical question and I don't know the answer to that, though, make sure to pay attention to the live chat. There's people in there that probably will know the answer, so they'll be able to get it for you. So pay attention. Not only that, participate, build a sense of community. And at any time during tonight's chat, you want to put in a YouTube super chat to be part of the Shooting the Shit with Yankee that we will be doing immediately after this. You can use YouTube super chats for that. Tonight's topic is, do you prefer leather or Kydex holsters for EDC and why? You don't have to answer why if you don't want to. But let's go over here. I like to start the chats every night by reading the orders we've received over the last 24 hours, if we've received any. Let's go see. I got to sign in here. It signed me out, but it should take just a second to sign back in, at least if I'm lucky. Let's see here. And, we actually got a couple orders. We got George Gomez, or Jorge. Hey, Gomez. Remember What's Happening? I loved What's Happening. Rerun. I used to live near him in Huntsville, Alabama. Madison, Alabama, actually. His church was right down the road from me, and I'd see him all the time at the Kroger. But Jorge Gomez got the have you ever considered that maybe you're the problem P320 shirt? Yes, have they ever considered that maybe they're the problem? And David Richards got that name's not fun at all. It's just David Richards. That's not even Jorge's funner. Armored Assault Possum. I wore that yesterday during the chat. Maybe he bought it because he thought it looked good on me. If anybody else thinks this one looks good on me, go get it. That's the tread on me again. I dare you. It's the Gadsy the snake there, and he's got his Glock telling you step on him one more time. See what happens. So if you want this or any other design, go on over and get it. In fact, you can do everything you need to do to support the channel from TYMPpistolproject.com. Over there at TYMPpistolproject.com, you can find a link to go to my Shopify store, and there's all kinds of merch like this. I hand draw every item. This ain't clip art. I hand draw everything and get it made into shirts where you can order them. All the funds go to support TYMPPP. If you want to support Pets and Vets, you can join Patreon. Patreon's the best way to support the channel, period. If you want to go over there, sign up, $2 a month, $5 a month, or more. Go on over. You can get patches like the Mickey Mouse Guns patch, which I have right here, the Mouse Guns patch. You can get that over there by being a member. You can also get deputy and posse patches over there. And that all goes to support the Pets and Vets program, the Friends program, and the Voices program. And if you want to go to a more pro-gun friendly platform than Patreon, there's Subscribestar over there. Also, you can join Subscribestar, become a member there, and choose which program you want to support. Everything on Subscribestar supports TYMPPP except for the Fur Friends Defender or Fur Friends Defender tier. The Fur Friends Defender tier supports Pets and Vets. And while you're signed up, you will be getting an ongoing series of patches if you send me your address, because for some reason Subscribestar didn't get it from people. So I've sent out a few of these already, but still got more to send. I think there's like 12 I need to send out, and I've only sent out like 3. So going over there and sign up and get one of those exclusive patches, either from Patreon or Subscribestar, and help support the programs we run. With that being said, let's get to the questions here, see if anything is coming in for tonight. Let's see. Where are my questions? I've lost my place. There we go. Here I am. Let's see. Oh, I shouldn't do that. That was an unfortunate movement. Everybody delete that. Jason Thompson, Officer Tater Hater, chimed in and said, sent you more emails. I didn't see any today. I've been busy. I've been messing with my 3D printer, trying to get it to make me some center caps for my car from a Venom theme. And I got little stringies on it. If anybody knows how to prevent that, I don't know where all these little stringies are coming from. It's like maybe it's not, I don't know, maybe it's too hot or not hot enough. I don't know. I don't know what to set the nozzle at and all that stuff. I'm not that smart. Is the smart SMRT, and that just pulled out of the back of it. I don't think it's supposed to do that. But yeah, if anybody's got any advice, let me know. I'm not good at the 3D printing. Better at the wood burning than the 3D printing. And I ain't great at that. All right. I sent emails including a video of Alabama trooper going after a guy who had a sticker on his bike that said only gay cops give me tickets. Well, that must mean they're gay cops. Well, you don't put that on your bike because then every cop that wants a date is going to chase you down. A lot of gay cops. Hey Phil. Well, a lot of them in the closet, but why do you think most of them have them honcho mustaches and beards? Bear lovers. Best defensive load for 45 Colt and 35 Aaron. I don't know what a 35 Aaron is. But for 45 Colt, well, I don't know. I don't really buy a lot of defensive ammo in 45 Colt. I usually buy that in range ammo, or some people buy a lot of hunting ammo in 45 Colt. But I don't really buy any self-defense ammo in 45 Colt. I would guess it's going to be very similar to 44 Magnum or 460 loadings bullet-wise. Just not going to be as fast or as heavy or, as hard-hitting. But as far as defensive loads, I know Underwood makes some, and you can't go wrong with like Underwood. So I would probably try Underwood or Buffalo Bore. Buffalo Bore makes some hard cast and some regular defensive 45 Colt that's pretty darn stout. I would worry about shooting a whole lot of it, to be honest, but it should be okay a little bit, just a little bit. That's a song. That's a word, something to do with a song there. Jay Lugo, he donated a weird amount of money, $2.69. I don't know why he did that. In your opinion, Yankee, what's the manliest gun to be carried every day? Well, of course, it's a Colt Python. And for the chat as well, what's your idea of the manliest gun? Well, since I carry a Colt Python, it's obviously the Colt Python. I guess if I wanted to try to prove, well, I guess the manliest gun, I could get a little outside waistband holster from a sea camp. People will see that and I'll be like, man, that guy's hung like a mule. Until they see my car. But I don't know, maybe a Desert Eagle if you want to be really manly. If you want to be butch looking. I don't know if it's more manly or more lesbian-esque, but it's butch. Maybe get you the Desert Eagle. That 357 Magnum Desert Eagle, the lightweight one, that would be a good one, good manly carry gun. You're not going to trick me into grabbing it, though. Edward Howerton chimed in and said, how's the recoil on 357 SIG? I have never fired it, but I'm looking for something stronger than 9mm for my wife, and she is afraid of 10mm. So I have discounted 10mm, discounted 10mm as an option. Don't discount 10mm. 10mm comes in different loadings. Get her something lighter. I think they even make, don't they make the, doesn't Hornady even make the softer shooting 10mm? Check into that. But 357 Magnum is just slightly less recoiling than a 40 because you're shooting basically the same loads in a neck down cartridge, but you're actually pushing less mass. So, but the extra speed sometimes kind of makes up for it. But it's, I would say, if you had to look at it from a technical standpoint, it's a hair less than 40 Smith & Wesson. I hope I said 40 Smith & Wesson the first time because I don't know. But don't give up on 10mm. Where was I? Who was that? Was that Edward Howerton that just asked me that? Yes, that was Edward Howerton. I wish this would mark things red once I've read them. Michael Santorsola paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, hi, Yankee Marshall. I had a leather holster made for my Ruger Red Hawk Alaskan 2.5-inch 454 by A.E. Nelson in Oregon. I like it a lot. How's your cross draw holster? Well, I don't have a cross draw for that gun. It's for a different gun. But I mean, it's fine. I only use it like if I'm going on a road trip. That's what I bought it for. So I can put it on for a road trip and it's right there. And then when you get out and move around and do other stuff, it's still on you. You don't have to remember to put it back. Like if you took it out of your holster and put it in a car holster, you got to remember to put it back. So I use that for like if I'm going to Seattle or something. Thing is, I don't be able to do a lot of road trips. I did use it. When was the last time I used it? We went and saw something at the Speedway. Then you drive over there. It's in Portland, and then you drive around the Speedway and look at like special lights and stuff. So I worked for that because I knew I was going to be in the car driving a lot of time. But I've heard of A.E. Nelson. I've never had a holster by him. Colin Hipburn chimed in. Colin Hipburn and says, how do you feel about VR training, especially for the Ace VR for the MetaQuest? I hate it. I hate VR training. I'm not saying it's not in any way a useful tool. I just hate it. It gives me a massive headache. I can't stand VR. I can't even stand to look like 3D glasses at a movie theater. My son has that, was it something Quest or something like that? But that white one that's very expensive that I had to pay for. And he'd always try to get me to do it. I'm just like, no, I'm not interested. And plus I'm like, I just can't suspend belief enough that it really affects me. Like I see people wearing them and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, you're watching TV, for God's sakes. But as far as self-defense, I mean, I can see where it could very easily train reflexes and decision making and stuff like that. So I'm sure it's a very useful tool. I'm not going to discount the tool itself, but for me, no, it doesn't work for me. I can't stand it. That was Colin Hepburn. And we got John Heasley chiming in. John Heasley chimed in here and said, when you order your Lobo holsters, do you get the suede or smooth leather lining for your finish? I get the smooth leather. I get it. I think it's when you pay extra for the smooth leather because that holds less grit. So it's going to wear on your gun less. So I just like that better. I get the smoother lining. That was John Heasley. Then we got Clinton Harrison. Paid his $2 tithe to Phil here and said, notwithstanding the tithe, I dare Phil to give me Lyme disease. Oh, I hope you get Lyme disease. Of course, now that you ask for it, he probably ain't going to give it to you. You'll probably wake up tomorrow and you'll be like, oh, I don't have Lyme disease, but I got syphilis or herpes. Whichever one you don't already have, you'll probably have it tomorrow. Shouldn't tempt Phil. Kevin Payton says, all hail Phil for my guaranteed weekly inoculation against Lyme disease and possibly syphilis or gonorrhea. He's not limited to Lyme disease. He doesn't just have a deal with the ticks. He can do more than that. Like I said, that was Kevin Payton paying his $2 tithe to Phil. Ryan McFarland said, leave us. Oh, no, I don't read that part. What do you think about Brandon Herrera making videos about the P320 saying it isn't drop safe? He's a gun manufacturer pushing that the airman was shot by a holstered P320. Thought he had more integrity. No. I told you, if you got enough money, they don't have any integrity. They got a price. If you meet it, they'll say what you want them to say. They'll also say whatever they think is the most controversial thing to get him attention. But he's got not a leg to stand on the airman thing, period. Not only is it mechanically pretty much impossible, it just doesn't make sense common sense wise either. So he's got not a leg to stand on. I don't know who that is, but he's obviously pretty stupid. Or just like I said, dishonest. That's not that MMA fighter that became a comedian, is it? Is that who that is? Next, we got Michael Dial, Mikey D. He chimed in and said, for the shits and giggles, another shot at the DSS Tomcat giveaway, Bobcat giveaway, or what else? LOL. It's Bobcat. Like I said, maybe it's Bobcat Goldthwait. Might be Bobcat Goldthwait. They might come to your house if you win. I would like that. I would love to have a day just hanging out with Bobcat Goldthwait. I'd love to pick his brain. He's a very interesting person. Plus, he wrote and directed Willow Creek, so he's a big Bigfoot fan too. So we'd have a lot to talk about, I think, because I'm a big Bigfoot fan. Although he made Bigfoot kind of mean in that one, or at least territorial and womanizing. But as I was saying, let's get back over here to the chat. I think Mikey D was the last super chat there. He is. So let's turn our attention to the emails. Let's see if we got anything coming in over here. We got a couple here. Some of these are just questions, so let me just read them. Mo G. What are your thoughts on CCI shot shells for semi-auto handguns? You mean like those little ones that shoot out all the little pellets? Well, I mean, they're good for, I guess, pest control, but that'd be about it for me. I don't really see any need for them. Yeah, I got no use for those. But, I mean, I guess some people could probably find a use for them. I just don't have one. Yeah, I just don't have a use for them. Moji522 also said, when thinking about carrying pepper spray, since you don't like stuff in your pockets, you can always keister carry this pepper spray. It's perfect fit. Well, it depends on what size can you get. It has to be a very small can to be a perfect fit. It had to be very small indeed. I don't even like a thermometer. So, yeah, not into that. This week, I'm going to look at a 2015 Subaru Forester Limited Sport Utility. It has 163 miles, and they want $5,000 for it. The car looks clean and comes back clean after running the VIN number. Blah, 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 maintenance. Worried about the CVT. I've not had any problem with any of the Subaru CVTs, and I've had a couple of them. They're not anything you want if you want to be out hot rodding, but for just basic function, they seem to be just fine. But and even a lot of these mechanics put out why you should never buy a CVT. When you watch the video, it's really like, well, you didn't tell me why I should never buy a CVT. You just told me what you don't like about CVTs. So I'm not too worried about the CVT as long as the transmission is working strong and you get it looked at. But that's about the right price for a 2015. You said 215, yeah. Now, however, that is very high mileage. You're saying they said they replaced the gaskets at 120, but the dealership said it's too far ago. They can't find the records. Now, I wouldn't believe that shit. It's a 2015 model. It's 2025. It's got 163,000 miles on it now. So how long ago could it have been possible that they actually did that? 5 years tops. Dealerships keep records that far back. They can get that. So, I mean, even if it's that far, it shouldn't even be that far back. It should be like 3 or 4 years back. Because they did it at 120,000 miles and it's a 2015. How quick did they put 120,000 miles on the thing? I mean, to do that in 5 years, that's 24,000 miles a year. That's a hard driven car. So that little feature right there makes me cautious, but nah, there's nothing wrong with it. 2015, I'd probably offer them 45 for it. But yeah, that's about right for them. We paid $3,000 for the 2009 with 160,000 miles on it. And we had to put shocks and struts and brakes on it. So yeah, that sounds about right price wise, but that sounds fishy about the don't have the receipt for something we did at 120,000 miles. because at that basic average mileage they're putting on the damn thing at that point, you know, it couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 years ago. It's only a 10-year-old car, and they're putting, 16,000 miles a year. If they did it at 20, well, that's like 3 years ago. Or 20, that's like 3 years ago. Dealership would have that record still. It's not like that was 1930s. So that would make me question. And then we got Bobby Pratt. We got Welper China came in. It looks like the SIG's trigger spring is 6.8 pounds from what I can find. Considering the trigger is a lever, it may take less on a trigger pull. What would be more power would be exerted at the end of the lever, not less if it was. You would Hooks law. Well, yeah, there is a formula for that, but I ain't doing it. I never liked physics, or I never liked calculus or anything like that. Them formulas and stuff, they get on my nerves. Yankee, check out this new Nightwing costume and logo. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know if I like it. He looks like he's some sort of like Centauri or whatever you call him, Chitauri drone. I'm not sure I like that. We can't talk comic stuff too much. People think it's nerdy. People were getting all over Never Enough Ammo and G-Webs for talking nerdy stuff at the end of the podcast the other night. Because I saw people say, look, nerds talking at the lunchroom table. And I know they meant G-Webs and Never Enough Ammo. So they touchy about that. So you got to be careful. All right. That looks like that's it for the emails. Let's go over here. See if we got anything coming in over here. There's not a whole lot of stuff coming in over here, I don't think. Let's see. That's about the chat. Okay, that's about that. What's it earlier? How again do I get entered to win a knife? Well, you do a super chat through YouTube or through PayPal. You use that link at the top chat. It says Phil Tithe and P&V super chat and giveaways link. Of course, you might want to wait till tomorrow because I'm going to be giving away a bigger knife tomorrow, I think. I got a couple I need to get rid of still. You need to use for questions. Okay. Hey, Yankee, do you still have your Colt Magnum carry? Yes, it's right back here. Sea Camp 380? Yes. Or Rohrball? No. And if so, why don't you carry them? Well, the Magnum carry, I've got other guns that do the same thing that aren't, classics. And the Sea Camp, well, that's only a deep backup gun, which I do carry it sometimes if I need a really, really deep backup gun. And the Rohrball, I sold it a long time ago. I wish I hadn't. Wish I still had it. Top speed today, I hit 45 miles per hour on my electric MC motorcycle, I guess is what that stands for. But it wouldn't be I guess it's an electric motor. There's no engine, there's a motor. Fastest I went today, I don't know. Probably about 6 or 7 miles an hour when I ran after Sherman when he tried to make a break for it today. I had to chase him down to the greenhouse. He's not good at getting away. Maisie will just walk outside, and she stays real close to the deck because she knows the dogs are there, and that way if anything comes at her, she can jump back up on the deck and she's safe, or she can go under the deck. But Sherman, he'll wander out, but luckily he's not good at getting away. He will run, and then as soon as you say Sherman, he stops and turns around and looks at you and lays down. So by the time I yelled stop, he was down at the greenhouse. So he flopped over on his back, showing his belly, and I had to go over and get him. But I took off after him at first. What should I get next in 357 revolver for me and semi-auto for my wife? She needs low recoil, not looking to break the bank, so preferably under $1,000 each. Well, there's so many things out there for under $1,000. So many. And I don't know what you got as far as 357 revolvers. So I don't know what you would need to pick up. Maybe a King Cobra carry or something. I don't know what you got. Maybe a LCR X in a semi-auto for your wife. Well, lots of low recoil in semi-autos. Anything 9mm. I mean, you got those Hornady ammo with the little pink ribbon on them. Those are really good for 9mm. It's like shooting 380, but it still functions in the gun. So any gun and shoot good ammo in it. I mean, if it's something small, if she's wanting something small that still, shoots well and is low recoiling, I mean, there's not as many options for that, but there's like P365, things like that. I can't imagine with a low recoiling 9mm in them, they'd be very hard to handle. I don't know what the price point is on those, though. I've never bought one. What is your opinion on a new shooter jumping from 22 Magnum to 45 Long Colt? I don't think new shooters need to shoot 22 Magnum. Unless they're a child. There's no point in starting them on 22 Magnum. I don't think they really learn anything on 22 Magnum. Because I think the hardest thing to learn isn't trigger pull. The hardest thing to learn is not anticipating recoil. And you ain't teaching them that on 22. So you're delaying their progress. And I ain't never seen a single military, law enforcement, or whatever training company that starts adults on 22s. You start off on regular calibers because that's how you're going to learn the most is shooting those. There's no reason to start adults on 22s. That's just something somebody said sometime and people thought it sounded good, so they repeated it. It's like that whole 8 glasses of water a day thing. There's no scientific basis for that whatsoever. It's just like there's no scientific basis that you learn more shooting 22 first. Oh, you learn trigger control. Trigger control's fucking easy. Anyone can sit at home in their living room and practice trigger control with an empty gun. Learning not to recoil, to anticipate that recoil or to react to pre-react to that blast. That's the hard part. So get them learning that right off the bat. Because you take out 9 adults and put the first 357 Magnum they've ever shot in their hand. They say they've never shot one. They don't know what to expect. And you tell them, don't worry, it's easy. And you cock that hammer back and you tell them, you show them how to line up the targets and you tell them how to pull the trigger. Boom. 8 out of 10 of them will hit the bullseye first time. Now, second time, they'll be about 3 feet off because second time they'll be anticipating that recoil. First time when they didn't know that was coming, they did just fine. So that's the main thing you got to overcome. And I'm getting off my soapbox now. That's one of my issues, though. I hate when people are like, you got to start on 22. No, you fucking don't. Where the fuck did you ever get that from? You need a 1911 chambered in 9x23 Winchester, fires a 90 grain bullet up to 22,000 feet per second or 125 grain bullet around 1,500 feet per second to hot 357 mag loads. I don't need those. What is my fucking Winchester in there? Hold on. What is the Winchester I got in there chambered in? Let me look it up on my list here. Let's see. What is it chambered in? I got to find it on my list. God damn it, quit that shit. I think it might be a 4440. But I don't got any ammo for that either. So I need to get ammo for that before I get into any other shit. Let's see here. Where are we at? Let me make sure we're still caught up over here on the super chats. How much time we got? We got a little bit more time before we move on to the shooting the shit with Yankee. So if you want to weigh in on today's shooting the shit with Yankee and be in that video, do a YouTube super chat. Topic today is Kydex holster or leather holster for EDC. Which do you prefer and why? You don't have to answer the why, but it'd be nice if you did. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where did my PayPal go? Well, there it is. Make sure we're still all caught up over there. We got one more coming in from John M. Mandrick. John M. Mandrick. Leave a super chat for Yankee. What is your go? I'm not supposed to read that part. What is your go-to cleaning liquid and lubricant? I don't have go-to. Whatever's on sale. Hoppies is fine. I'm quite fine with it. It's usually on sale. So, or what's the other one I use quite often? Hold on. Where's that? The Remington stuff, like the Remington Action Cleaner and all that. You know, the green cans. So the Remington and the green cans I use a lot because it's on sale a lot too. You can usually get it in the 2-packs and stuff. So I got that all over the place in different places. We got another email here. This is from Kyle Legume. I think that means he's a peanut. Does his last name mean peanut? I don't know. But we used to have a guy in the military we called Peanuts. Well, it's not a flattering reason why we called him that. It was in basic training. My 1985 Mauser, she's a beaut. I know you're extremely happy for me. No, I'm not happy for you. If you just got that, you're a bitch. You're a cunt. I ain't get nothing new. I ain't had nothing new in a while. So you are horrible. What was the last new gun I had? I think that Shadow 2. That's been a while. So I'm a Jonesin. Not too bad, though. There's not much on my radar right now that I definitely badly want. Nothing I want badly. Christopher Grove also chimed in here and said, keeping away the evil Lyme disease and other things. Also, don't forget your trailer being blown away with your baby in it. You don't want to forget that. But, all right, let's get back over to the regular chat here. Ensure retraction is enabled in your splicer software and experiment with retraction distance and speed. Lowering the print temperature can also help reduce oozing that causes strings. Okay, well, I thought the temperature, I don't know what the retraction shit is. I don't know what that means. Strings on 3D printer, try increase the retract amount millimeter in slicer settings. I don't know what that is, but I'll try. What was it called? Both of you just said the same thing. What was it? Lowering print enabled in your slicer software. What's slicer software? I don't see slicer on my options over here. Let me go back. Smooth surface. What's the setting? I got the object right here. I don't see slicer. More settings. Let's see if it's in there. Speed control, model structure, support structure, initial. I don't know what that is. Let's see. I don't see slicer anywhere in this. Wall thickness, support type. Initial layer adhesion. Travel speed, normal, trihexagon. Support type. Normal. Build plate adhesion. I don't know what any of this is. Model structure. Support. I don't see nothing slicer. Is there a way to search? Let me see if there's a way to search. I don't see a way to search. No, I don't see a way to search. So more settings. Let's see. Model structure, support structure. Fine tune. I don't know what that is. Initial layer. Model fineness. Print speed, layer height. I probably shouldn't be doing this right now. I should probably wait. I'll try to find it later, but I don't know what the fuck everybody's talking about. All right, let's get over here. What road trips are you taking, Yankee? You're here every day. Oh, I ain't taking any road trips. Occasionally, I'll do an evening trip somewhere. I ain't done anything lately, and I don't plan on it. Caden wants to go to Seattle coming up here shortly, but he doesn't want. I don't think he wants me going with him. He told me to get him and a friend a ticket to Seattle. They're getting a hotel room and going to a concert. So he asked me, should I drive my car or should I take the train? I was like, take the train to Seattle. You don't want to leave your car in Seattle. So I might just get me a train ticket too. And they won't see me get on the other side, and I'll get a hotel room near theirs. And then show up at the concert. See how they like that. I bet they would not like that. Let's see here. Where are we at? Yeah, I'm here every day. I don't get to do much of anything. Went to the base gate guards, had M4 rifle, no pistol. Yeah, so I'll tell you, a bunch of bullshit gets out of hand. If they did it at 120,000 miles and 160,000 miles now, that's like 40,000 miles. Well, yeah, but that's at that rate of mileage, that's like only 3 years ago. So they should still have the records. Texas Troy. Where is it? Texas Troy did a super chat, but that he didn't say nothing. I don't know why he didn't say nothing. Someone's telling him he has to put his name in front of something. Oh, there it is right there. Beretta 92 M9 variant or Sig Sauer P226. Oof. Was looking at a double action, single action, and 9mm with optic cut and light rail. Your opinion would be appreciated. Oof. Well, you're making this hard because the Sig P226 is probably one of the best duty guns ever made. But the Beretta is my favorite. Although I wouldn't get an M9. I would get the new 92s, the 92Xs, you know, because they got all the cool features. They got the Vertec grip. They're cut for a red dot. They got the removable front sight. You know, a lot of stuff you don't get on the regular like M9 and stuff. So I'd probably get one of the new Berettas or the P226. The P226, like I said, it's just one of the best duty guns, period. But my favorite is the Beretta. Do you have any thoughts on the SIG 2022? I like the SIG 2022. I thought it was a little ahead of its time. Wasn't what people were looking for at the time, but I think more guns like that need to be brought back. I think it'd refine that one a little bit, bring it back. I'd be happy. Just like standing 6 feet away to avoid COVID. What? Although, you know, don't laugh at a lot. Standing distance from people does help you prevent catching infectious diseases. Because usually when people breathe or cough, that mist is only viable for so far. And then you're usually at a safe distance away from it. I mean, distancing is one of the main things you can do when someone's ill. So that part makes sense. So did masks for people who are ill, so that they're not spreading their germs on everything. But the only thing is they asked everybody to wear them, and it ain't doing no good for the people who ain't sick. It ain't going to prevent you from catching the disease. I mean, if you have one of the perfect, you know, whatever the N86 or 96, whatever they are, 95s or whatever they are, well, those could help you prevent you catching something by breathing something in. But if you still got it on your hands and touched your face, you're probably still going to get it. So the best thing is for the people who are sick to not be spreading their mucus everywhere. So you want people to wear a mask when they're sick. It's like when you go to the hospital and they think you might have something infectious, or you go to the emergency room, first thing you do is hand you a mask so you're not spitting germs on everybody. But they couldn't say, hey, only go if you go out and you're showing symptoms, wear a mask, because then anybody that was out wearing a mask, people would get them, beat the shit out of them. They're coming out here sick, trying to kill us all. So they couldn't do that. So they just said everyone wear a mask. People like to overreact to stuff and pretend like things were nefarious when they're not really nefarious. They're just certain ways you have to do things or people will overreact to it. Well, they had that reporter that claimed to have gotten PTSD from firing 5.56 out an AR rifle. Well, yeah, that's some levels of pussy can't have anything done about it. The software is not called Slicer. They call it Slicer because it takes 3D image and cuts it into layers for the printer. Oh, I don't know what the fuck that is. Look at for retract amount millimeter. Increase this setting. The retract distance increases the setting. Also, print temperature lowering in a few degree may help. Okay, I'll try those things. After we get done with the chat, I'll try those things. And we're done with the chat. We need to move on to the shooting the shit with Yankee. So I want to say thanks to everybody who came in today. Let me make sure we're all caught up on the supers before I get out of here. We are. We will do the drawing for tonight's knife giveaway after the shooting the shit with Yankee. We'll do the drawing for yesterday's giveaway as soon as we sign off with this. So thanks everybody for coming. Thanks everybody for supporting the channel. Thanks everybody for keeping the conversation going. I appreciate all of it. I hope to see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe till I see you again.